Still gonna use one of the 3 pieces instead of the 4. I wanna stay a fair amount behind this part just in case she wants to do an updo or anything like that, or the hair gets pulled back this way, we can make sure we cover those tracks. And we are taking pieces from 2 separate clip sets that were pre-made, so there's going to be extra pieces that we won't need. If you have 2 separate clip sets, that's going to be a lot of hair. I mean, you can add them all, but getting them in there is going to be quite a challenge because there's so much hair that comes in a pack. I like to start, like when you get higher or you have longer pieces, start in the middle and then go side to side. If you start at one side, it tends to kind of make everything shift over a bit. Okay, now at this point, when you're getting close to the top, you want to be mindful of where the natural hair parts itself, because unless you shellac the hair into place really good, there's a good chance that your natural part is going to emerge at some point in the night. So for Denise, her natural part comes down to about here. So what we want to do is we're just going to keep that spot in mind, and we're going to go just underneath it to where we know it's not going to be visible. So we can get a track about right there without any problems. Everything else that we're going to put in is going to have to stay to either side of that to make sure that if that actually did part, that it's not going to expose any of the tracks underneath. Conveniently, this is actually about 2 finger widths above where we already were, so that's going to work out really well. So then we'll just put the wide brown strip in above where we just were. Good idea to make sure you're checking your symmetry, make sure that everything's mostly straight. Doesn't need to be perfect, but balanced is always a good thing to strive for. So good, almost there. This is what the back is gonna look like. And once her hair is all blended in with that and a little bit of pomade, that's gonna smooth out really nicely. Now, the sides, you can't leave the sides like this or you're gonna have a pretty sweet mullet. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fill in the rest of this with the smaller, shorter tracks, which are this wide, so that we can get in here and give her that hair that's gonna bring it down around the front. In the front, her blonde may actually be more dominant, so we may end up putting that one on top. Again, you want to make sure you know where you're going to be parting the hair. And at this point, I find it helpful to part from the top and decide where you're going to put them, and then just section those off ahead of time. Also, a word on angle. If you want the hair to come in around the front, you can angle them so that it's this way, and that'll push that hair to fall more towards the front. If you're going for something that's going to be swept off the face, you can do the same thing and angle it back a bit so that it's not constantly pushing forward. The most neutral position is just anything going straight down. So that's most of the time what you'll probably be doing. For Denise's, I'm going to angle her lower one slightly forward. So a little bit of backcombing. You're not going to be backcombing for any form of lift, so you don't want to do it too much. Just enough to get the hair a little messy at the base. Nothing that it should be too difficult to comb out later either.